Tesla has opened up their supercharger network basically all around the world to non-Tesla vehicle owners. Now, it's on around about on par with the price of other charging networks, unless you own a Tesla. If you own a Tesla supercharging network is cheaper almost always than its rivals. If you don't own a Tesla and you own a different branded EV, the price is higher. That is unless you subscribe to Tesla's supercharger network. Now, what is the price of subscriptions? It's different in Europe compared to America, compared to Australia. Here's the price differences. And surprisingly, it's actually very, very cheap in Australia. It's about half the price in Australia to subscribe versus the United States. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to see you. Tesla is starting to make money from its charging network. Now, it's always made money, and Tesla is able, because it has a lot of battery packs under some of its charging stations, it's able to get electricity and sell it often at a lower price than its competition. Plus, Tesla's cost to build its actual superchargers, the actual unit itself, Tesla can do that at a cost of around about 70% lower than the competition. It can also build out its supercharger stations much, much faster. So Tesla does have a big advantage. We know that information. It's not some kind of fake information I just told you. It's actually very true. We know this information because of tenders. So Tesla has competed for government tenders a few times, and all the companies have to release their pricing. And when you see that, you see Tesla's cost is much lower than the competition. That's one of the reasons Tesla has so many superchargers. But the other reason is because Tesla's really made it a big part of their business. To call Tesla just a car company would be a bit disingenuous. It'd be like, imagine if Ford operated tens of thousands of gas stations, and you just said, no, Ford are just a car company. Well, hang on a minute, they're selling gas. Well, here's the thing, superchargers are the future. Tesla has lowered its supercharging subscription pricing in Europe. And now, people who drive in Europe have access to Tesla's chargers. I think a lot of people in Europe are very well aware that in Europe, Tesla's chargers, even without subscribing to Tesla's network, are generally cheaper anyway than the competition. In Norway, Tesla chargers are the cheapest, period. I've looked at various different pricing comparison charts, and unquestionably Tesla chargers, they're actually on average 50% cheaper than the competition. It's a big difference. But if you're part of Tesla's subscription network, you pay a bit less. You pay basically what Tesla owners pay. You pay about 30% less than what you would pay if you aren't subscribed. So this is sort of like Netflix, right? And it's actually similar pricing to Netflix. Tesla has reduced the pricing of its subscription to superchargers in Europe by 23%. The monthly fee is now 10 euros. That price adjustment not only makes it more affordable for non-Tesla EV drivers to access the company's very extensive supercharging network, but it also provides up to a 24% discount on the price of electricity for subscribers. This updated subscription model is currently available in Germany, but it extends its benefits across Europe. In the UK, the price is £9 per month. That's actually makes it slightly more expensive in the UK than what it is in the mainland of Europe. To give you some context on pricing here, the price to subscribe in the United States to Tesla's network is $13 per month, so $13 US. In Europe, the price ends up being about $11 US now that this 23% discount has come to European consumers. The price is $11 versus $13 in America. The UK price, that works out to about $12 US. So the UK price is very similar to America, but America is relatively expensive in comparison to Australia. In fact, everywhere is. Australia is about when you do the exchange, it comes to about $6.40 in terms of US dollars. So it's much cheaper than Europe, much cheaper than the UK, much cheaper than the United States. One of the reasons, of course, is Tesla has not built anywhere near as many superchargers in Australia. So you're kind of paying for what you get. There's a lot less actual superchargers. But at the same time, Tesla's supercharger network in Australia has a 99% uptake. In other words, 99% of the chargers working. That's pretty impressive. If you rock up to a Tesla supercharger station, there's a very, very high probability that it will be actually in order. There's currently over 2.5 million electric vehicles on American roads alone. Most of those are Teslas, about 70%. So for them, they're not going to pay for subscription fees. But there are still hundreds of thousands of owners who have non-Tesla vehicles. So if you think about it, if Tesla is making, let's say Tesla gets 1 million memberships, right? At about $13 a month, that's about $156 million a year. But that's only 1 million memberships. And there's 7 billion people on the planet. And think about it, right? America is selling about 16 million cars a year. China, about 28 million. Europe, around about 15 million. I mean, I think Tesla can eventually get to the point where they have about, say, 10 million subscribers. That would make them around $1.6 billion per year. But that's just in subscriptions. That's nothing to do with actually selling electricity itself. And that's where Tesla has a big advantage. Because Tesla is putting in Megapack batteries at many of its big supercharger network locations, so where it's building out, for example, the new charging location in Florida, it's going to be about 200 charging stalls in that location. That's where Tesla is putting these Megapacks in, right? And that's when Tesla can get energy from the grid, really, really low prices, possibly even paying nothing for that energy, because at certain times of the day, many locations around the world, energy becomes free. And that will actually increase. The amount of places where energy is free will increase until everywhere has energy for free at certain times of day. But to get energy from a supercharger, you're still going to have to pay for that service, for the supercharger service. So eventually, Tesla will be able to sell a product that costs it very, very, very little and have not only subscription service, but also you have to pay for that product at the same time as well. It will be cheaper than gasoline, and most people will charge at home. But this will be one way Tesla will be able to make possibly billions of dollars per year. Some experts believe Tesla will be able to make more than 10 to 20 billion per year from their superchargers alone. And one of the reasons for this is Tesla's not stopping here where it's at. And Tesla plans to become essentially like the Chevron Mobil of electric stations, to become the biggest supercharger network in the world. Now, it's already the biggest in the world, but I think Tesla wants to double the size, more than double the size over the next 10 years. Would it be a good deal to pay $13 a month if you have access to the best network in your country or in your region? Probably would be. So it's a pretty good deal for consumers, and it works out pretty well for Tesla too. Thanks for watching.